The last thing we want to talk about is some notable Freddy moments in the show. You only have one?
I got one. I hated them. They were terrible.
Freddy's hardly in the show this season.
He doesn't do any of the funny stuff.
Yeah, remember in season 1 where it was like Cop Freddy and like Chef Freddy and like he's always doing a skit.
Right.
And they're endearing. They're fun. There's none of that.
None of that. All of that gets cut out.
And
I think you said like the number of bumpers that he's even a part of, they've cut it. They trimmed way
it.
back.
They trimmed it down. Yeah. It's like Freddy doesn't even want to be in the show.
It's literally he has like a comment at the beginning and then like another one at the end, but they're not even. And it's some of them like he's just got like a person like you remember those ones?
Yeah. So okay. Well, I've got a couple. I'm gonna give you a couple that I thought were okay. They're whatever. Just something that's funny. In the episode Funhouse, we get Freddy in drag.
Yeah.
First time we've ever seen that. Yeah. That was interesting. All right, sure. Yeah. Drag Freddy Krueger. Right. That's cool. I'm just looking for different things, right? Yeah. Anything, right? There's a funny moment in Dreams That Kill. Freddy, like in the dream, Freddy comes out of a bathroom because in Dreams That Kill, Freddy's the antagonist, so he's actually getting a douche in the episode. He comes out of the bathroom and he's like, "Hey, you gotta go. You gotta go."
You gotta go. And now it's your turn.
Which is a little too far.
I don't know. It's kind of funny because it's like the implication of like even Freddy still has to relieve himself in the dream world, even though he's like a dream demon.
Right.
Or maybe he was just doing that to be funny. Yeah. It's still, I don't know. I find that funny. It's like, imagine Freddy Krueger enters your dream in the most like lowbrow effort. He comes out of the shitter.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, okay, now I'll go after you.
Still gotta,
yeah. He has a funny line in Interior Loft. In Interior Loft, that's the one where there's the sexually frustrated woman.
Yep.
And Freddy's like, well, I don't know what's wrong with him. If he won't give it to her, or if he won't give her what she wants, maybe I will.
What's wrong with that guy? I guess he doesn't want to be a sex symbol. Maybe that's what happens when you study too hard. Well, if he won't give her what she wants, maybe I will.
Yeah, again, which would have been perfect in the first season, but in the second season where he's not really as corny, it's just like, oh, okay, I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds a little nitpicky. Yeah, it does sound a little nitpicky. It's like I don't know. There's some moments that are funny. It's just the majority is it's less.
I wanted his head to pop out of a deep fryer. Like
you wanted those kind of moments, like It's a Miserable Life. Yeah, they don't give you those moments.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single one moment. There's none.
No prop moments.
No. In what do I got? Actually, in Interior Loft, 2 other moments. Cop Freddy. There's like another cop Freddy. He's like interrogating a suspect, and then he just kills him.
Right, he's just a guy though. Like I'm like, where's this person coming from?
Well, they do a few of these in this.
Of just like a guy like laying on a table or.
And then he's like interacting with, so it's like for some reason he has other victims in the dream world. I don't know. I didn't mind it. I thought it was funny. It breaks, dude. They're breaking the fourth wall anyway. So I'm like, who cares? And actually, in the same episode, Freddy has a personal writer. There's a funny moment where Freddy's like, "What is this? What is going on?" He's like, "Let me see this script," and he like grabs the script for the episode we're watching and starts reading it, and then he says something that's like, "Yeah, it's pretty good, I guess," and then he just kills the writer that's writing it. And also Freddy, they make Freddy look like an artsy like douchebag. He's wearing like a tied sweater, but he's wearing a tied sweater over top of his sweater,
actual sweater.
So he has 2 sweaters on. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I can't win Mark over on this one. Like Mark's just like, it's like Gollum.
The problem is, and I'm gonna let Justin do this, but he wants to convince himself that these moments have any kind of redemptive
value. Listen to the way
value.
he's talking. He wants to convince himself.
Like Justin wants to love this. I'm like,
they're fun. You know what it is?
They're just not fun enough. They're not fun on the.
I don't know that that's the case. You know what? Robert Englund's gonna die someday, and no, hear me out. Robert Englund's gonna die someday, and like this show's terrible, but some of these little Freddy moments, that's as good as you're gonna get out of New England material. So I don't know that they're a complete waste.
I just remember
I don't
him,
know if they're
like,
as bad as you think.
I just
they
remember
are.
him rapping, scratching a record.
Right, that's what I'm. But why is that any funnier than any of this? You know why? Because those episodes were zanier than these episodes. Yeah. So when Freddy does zany shit in this show,
it's just not zany enough to. Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't know. Okay, what else do we got? Okay, in Prime Cut. Is this the one that you're talking about?
No, the only one that I have, but as one I already talked about, is when he mentions he's going to have to relive this 10,000 times, because it was the only one that contributed to the plot of the episode.
Oh, that's all you have to say is your favorite Freddy moment is Freddy being like, I'm going to torture this guy over and over again in memory overload.
Yeah.
Here, I'm the head of the class, and the professor is a dunce. His punishment? He has to relive that 10,000 times. Or until he dies. Whichever comes first.
Well, and then he turns to the camera and he's like, this episode stinks, right?
yeah.
Remember he said that?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I feel like he did.
I kind of remember
like
that.
Yeah.
Mark Skews thinks this episode is good, but he doesn't know shit.
I did not like the bumpers for any of these episodes.
I some of them aren't. I don't know. There's okay. So I'm gonna allow me to
keep
try.
Going.
Sorry, allow me to continue trying to convince myself here. I have like Stockholm syndrome at this point.
Yep.
Is that's what you're implying? Okay. We've got in Prime Cut, Freddy's dressed as a hillbilly, and he's like serving up this big fat hairy guy as a meal, and it's just like so over the top, and it's like, and this man is covered in hair.
Yeah.
And was that prosthetic or was that a hairy man? It's gross either way.
Is that the only choice they had? They couldn't find somebody else a little bit?
It's like this big lumpkin guy.
Yeah.
He's like on the table tied up, and then Freddy like scoops some like gravy on him. It's so gross. Like, what the fuck is this? In Prisoner Love, your favorite episode? Favorite episode. Freddy's Poetry Corner.
Yeah.
Freddy has like a little poetry corner, and there's a sign on like a little easel that says Freddy's Poetry Corner, and he's wearing like a scarf and beret and like little round glasses, and he has like a little audience, and then he just like reads some stupid poem. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's great. Yeah, but it's funny. And in the same episode, I would say one of my favorite moments from Freddy's Nightmare Season 2, Freddy Bumper. Freddy's at a confessional, and he's like talking to a priest.
Yeah.
And he's like going through all the shit he did in the Elm Street movies. And he's like, well, I killed 11 kids and 42 adults, and I did this. And then he's like, and one priest. And then he just
the guy's like, what?
And then he kills the priest.
I killed 11 kids. I murdered 43 adults. I wasted 7 cats, 43 dogs, and a canary.
Is that all, my son?
Now, is that all? No, I also wasted a priest.
What was that last one, my son?
I said I killed a priest.
I do remember that one.
That one's pretty good. Yeah, that one's pretty good. And probably the worst Freddy moment for me is in Dust to Dust. Just another reason this episode sucks. I don't know if you caught this. At one point, it's like I think it's the mid bumper. Freddy goes, "No more Mr. Nice Guy."
I may be cruel, but I'm fair. But this is all about to change. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I'm like, are you actually referencing your pilot episode title?
Yeah.
There's no way that wasn't intentional. Right. He literally like looks at the camera and he goes, "No more Mr. Nice Guy."
But like, why?
Why?
At the same time. Right?
Yeah, why? Yeah. Because some people like that pilot episode.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
Some people are wrong.
Some people are just like,
Throw him another fish.
Yeah, throw him another fish. That's right.